Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my Whodunitathon TBR, this time focusing on the investigation and the resolution. So first of all I have to say though that I have already gone and changed part of the TBR I talked about last week. You'll remember in that video that I said for my sidekick character I was going to choose the unflappable butler prompt and read a piece of non-fiction, and I had chosen All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher, but I did say at the time that I wasn't sure if it would be for me. So I actually started reading it just before the readathon started on the last night of September, and it was definitely not for me. I knew that within a chapter. I was like, no, this is too young, I can't do it. So that means I need a new sidekick. So instead of the unflappable butler, I am now going to have the sardonic doctor character, for which I need to read a book that features a doctor or another medical professional or a healer type character. And so I am reliably informed that the Final Girls support group by Grady Hendrix has I can't remember whether I was told it was a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but one or the other who supports the Final Girls support group in question. I was originally going to have this further down my TBR, but I'm excited to bump it up because I'm really looking forward to it. I mentioned in my video last week that I'm sort of dipping my toe into not too scary horror books, and this was one that was recommended for that. So I've got pretty high expectations, which I'm hoping it will live up to. So far that's the only change I've made to the TBR, so now it's time to go on to the investigation. So my police inspector and his sardonic doctor sidekick need a suspect in their murder investigation, and my suspect is going to be the flighty socialite. And so this prompt requires me to read a book with a party scene. I have chosen for that Cinderella Is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name. Which I assume there's a ball, that counts as a party scene. So yeah, I don't really know much about this. I believe it's pretty popular. Hope it's good. But as usual, our suspect has an alibi. And my flighty socialite's alibi is going to be a locked room. So for this prompt I need to read a book with doors, locks or keys on the cover. And I have chosen the 10,000 Doors of January. I haven't read anything by Alix E. Harrow before, but it's got a beautiful cover with a door on it, and I've heard pretty good things, so I'm intrigued by this. I think it's like a magical realism type thing. I don't really, the blurb doesn't really give much away, so yeah, I'm really intrigued to try this one out. And I've got a couple of Alix E. Harrow's other books on my TBR as well, so hopefully this will be a good start and I'll want to continue with reading her books. So our murder has a witness, and this witness is the eavesdropping servant. So I need to read a book of historical fiction, and the rules of the readathon say that where historical fiction is required you can read historical fantasy or something. It just has to be set in this world. So I have chosen Song of Achilles by Madeleine Miller, which I've heard nothing but good things about. I have read Circe by the same author, but not this one yet. So I really enjoyed Circe, but I think this will be a bit different. But hopefully I will enjoy it as well. And of course, we also need some clues in our investigation. So I could choose more, but I have only chosen one, and that is The Burned Will. So for this prompt, I need to read a book that has fire or some such on the cover. I have chosen High Fire by Eoin Colfer. You'll remember this was on my TBR for the Royal Readathon in August, but I didn't get to it then. Hopefully I'll be able to get to it this time, and we'll see how it goes, whether this is a case of me, again, not liking Eoin Colfer's non-Artemis Fowl books, or whether this might be the exception to the rule, and I actually like this one. Fingers crossed. And so the last stage of the mystery is the resolution, where everything gets tied up. So we need a culprit, and my culprit is going to be more than one murderer working together. So for this I need to read a book with more than one author, and for this I have chosen The Other Side of the Sky by Amie Kaufman and Meagan. It's quite long, but I think it's almost like a middle grade one, so hopefully it'll sort of tick along quite quite quickly. I haven't read any of the books that these two have written together, but I've read some of their solo books and I've liked those. So hopefully together it'll be even better, right? And of course the culprits need a motive, and I've chosen the motive to hide a secret. So this is where I was originally going to slot in Final Girl Support Group, because I was pretty sure there'd be secrets in that. And so now that I've moved that further up the list, I'm going to read No Limits by Ellie Marnie, which I've had on my shelf for ages. This is actually a spin-off of her Every series. I haven't read the Every series, but I think this stands alone. I won this in a giveaway. It's a signed copy, which is very cool. Yeah, I really like Ellie Marnie's writing. She's one of my favourite Australian authors, so this one should be pretty good. I don't have many doubts about it. And yeah, should be fun. Now, for the last prompt, I haven't actually chosen anything yet. The last prompt is the revelation, and there are two to choose from. There's either the I've gathered you all here together today, parlour scene type prompt, and then there's the murderer's confession. And the parlour scene prompt is to read a book in third person, and the murderer's confession prompt is to read a book in first person, which basically covers every book I own. There is also a prompt for second person, but I don't have anything for that, so that's not a worry. Between those two, I'm pretty much covered, and I can just pick whatever I feel like reading at the time, which is pretty exciting. And if I get that far, I will have read 13 books in the month, and I'll be very proud of myself. I'm going to wrap this up very quickly because it is about to rain. In fact, it is raining, and I'm standing outside with a bunch of books. So wish me luck on this readathon. I'll catch you next time.